Hi, this is Roni and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to use my How to Kill a Kit with Style, and see that number 12 cup right there? I'm going to use it for inspiration for my layout, and that's Christy's bonus Thursday night challenge in the Secret Not Secret Kit Club party this weekend. I'm going to scrap that picture of my great niece, and I'm going to use the colors that was in that cup, the autumn looking colors. This one is a green, and it is from close to my heart, but it's one of the older pieces of close to my heart, and Jennifer had gave it to me. And then the orange looking one is a dark rustic looking color. It is from K & Company, and it is embossed, but it's pretty thin too. And then the last one, the one with the words on it, all the autumn words, it is from Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby, and it's pretty thin too. But it has all the colors of autumn that you would want to put on your page. And that's why I couldn't resist putting it on here. That wreath that I put behind the picture, I am going to end up cutting the wreath part off. And it's going to be a swag instead of a wreath. The wreath just didn't work for me. I am working on the banner, and I'm going to use that chipboard, and I had a lot of trouble getting them off there. They kept trying to come apart, and the second one does come apart, so I was a little more careful with the rest of them because I had to glue it back together, and this is where I'm gluing it back together. I am just going to lay them on top of that, and then I'm just going to make the banner up there in the left hand corner. And it's going to take me a minute to do this. I am going to go ahead and leave it set for a few minutes though, so that the glue can dry, and I'm going to work on a cluster down in the bottom left hand corner. The cluster in the bottom corner is going to have a pumpkin, and it's kind of like a dusty teal instead of an ordinary looking pumpkin. I mean, maybe it's not a pumpkin, I don't know. But it is a teal color instead of orange. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the leaves that's on the right hand side off and move them over, because I'm going to put a little label on there that says I love autumn. And I figured that if I cut them off and moved them over, then you could actually see them, because otherwise this little label here would be right on top of them. And so it's going to help spread out my cluster a little bit too. And I am going to remember to use labels for the Rediscover Your Stash Focus of the Month. Yeah, I'm going to use two of them. I'm going to use a label down there in the left hand corner, plus one up there. It's going to be like a tab, but it's on the sheet with labels, so I'm going to call it a label. And it's going to go above the picture, and it's a circular one, and it just says laugh. And so I'm going to count it as two labels on my layout, even though it is a different shape. I just love the colors in this collection. Well, I have added two things there that's not actually in the collection, but this is Fall Break, and it's Cartabella. And you can tell it's Cartabella, that paper. I really like it. It's heavy, and it's got texture to it. So yeah, I like it a lot. I really like the idea that I was able to bring in two different older pieces of paper and that one from Hobby Lobby. I debated whether buying it or not. I was getting wood grain paper because I was wanting some wood grain paper, and I just happened to see this while I was looking. And I couldn't resist, because it has such pretty colors in it. And of course it has words. It has crisp, cranberries, apple pie, yummy. It might go on really good, a layout that you're baking a pumpkin pie or something. These black stickers are the ones I got, it might have been a month ago now. I got them at Hobby Lobby, and they were marked down to 74 cents. I really do think I got my 74 cents worth. I really enjoyed using them. That alpha is from Freckled Fawn. It's plastic, I guess. They're not really puffy. They're really thin, and they are also random. You don't know if you're going to use a uppercase or lowercase, or cursive. I believe there's cursive in there too. Yeah, the D looks like a cursive. The next alpha that I'm going to use is from Daily Flash. It's a tile alpha. I'm going to put the word seek with it, and everything's going to nestle together. I'm going to move the adventure up, and I just basically moved it out of the way when I was starting my title. I wasn't planning on it staying there because I wanted to put the and seek in there also. The T even is going to nestle right into the word and the seek is between the D and the T. I'm adding foam tape to the back of my picture, and I'm going to use the swag that is the wreath that is now a swag over to the right in the upper right hand corner of the picture. I did like the wreath. There wasn't nothing wrong with it. It's just that I really couldn't see using it on this page the way it was. If I'd thought about it more, I might have been able to, but I thought I could use it as a swag instead on the corner of the picture. I'm going to work on the cluster on the bottom left right now. I'm going to try that label that says beautiful and has trees and everything, but it's a little bit bigger than I want. I decided to go with smaller things on my little cluster. I am going to pull one of those phrase pieces out, and it's going to say love, faith, family, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of the little cluster. Plus I'm going to put it on a label because of the Redefine Creatives focus of the month being labels. I wanted to make sure I used at least one on my layout, but I'm going to use two. Yeah, two. One is circular, but see, it's on the label sheet, so it's considered a label, so I am going to call it that. And it's going to say laugh. I'm going to put it up there at the top of the picture. I punched that 1-inch circle out so it could go behind it. Oh, I started to punch it out in the cream colored and changed my mind and decided to use the rust colored instead. I thought it'd go just a little bit better and would stand out a little bit more. I'm looking through these labels, and these are all thin labels. I'm going to punch this one out. It's a yellow plaid. I'm going to put it on the cream colored cardstock and cut around it and leave just a border of the cream color. I started to stick it down, but then I thought, well, it's pretty thin and that paper is textured, and I didn't want the texture to show behind it, so I decided to make it heavier by adding the cardstock to the back of it. I'm looking through here to see if there's anything else that'll go in my cluster, but I didn't find anything right then, so I pulled these brads out, and I don't end up using one right now, but because I did look over that way and see them again before I got done, I thought, oh, one of my goals was to use some of them. So I do end up using one on this layout. It's a cut apart, and it has a farmhouse and trees. I'm going to use my maple leaf punch and punch out several of the leaves so that I can scatter them. Well, scatter's not exactly the word. I am going to put some in that cluster to fill out the cluster a little bit. Plus I'm going to put some by those pumpkins by the picture and by the swag up there. This little punch, I've had it. It probably was the very first punch I bought when I started scrapbooking. So I've had it a long time, and it has punched out a lot of leaves over the years. They're pretty small, but sometimes you don't need a very big one. I do have dies with a lot bigger leaves, but this one worked really well for the clusters on this page. The card that I am punching them out of just to get the different variegated colors is not one that I thought I would end up using. The other side has wreaths on it, and they're kind of uniform and repetitive. So other than using the other side for layering, I didn't think I'd probably end up using the other side for anything either. So I decided to punch my maple leaves out of there. I pulled the sticker that said long walks because this picture, they're in a park and getting, well, her and her cousin, my other niece, are in the park, and they're getting their picture taken. Neither one are 3 yet. She won't be 3 till December, Her and my granddaughter were born on the same day. And then my other niece, I think she's like a month and a half younger than those two. So they're not very old, but they were really enjoying themselves walking through the park. And so there's candid pictures. They're just taking them, doing whatever they want to do. I added some of the leaves to this little cluster. And I'm also going to end up adding some up there to the top. And then I'll be close to done on my layout. I think the only other thing I add besides that little brads, and it's spelled B-R-A-D-Z because it don't have no prongs on the back. And it's by Simple Stories. I'm going to add it plus some enamel dots. And the enamel dots that I'm adding to this layout, they kind of look like dewdrops. They're pretty clear. They have a yellow tint to them, but it's a really light yellow, and they have glitter in them, and they are really pretty. I got them on a peachy cheap deal one time, and I think it was like 5 packages for one price, and they were all really pretty colors. And there's where I was thinking about adding another brad, but I didn't find one, and I looked at the sticker sheet again and didn't find anything else that I wanted to add, so I finally pulled out my little enamel dots, and I am going to add those to my layout. I'm going to add them in each one of the clusters and 3 different sizes in each cluster. And that's it. I will be done with my layout. No, I won't. I cannot believe I almost forgot that I did do some stitching on this page. Yeah, you wouldn't think I'd forget stitching, would you? I am going to put cross stitching. I'm going to put 4 in that area right there. Then I'm going to put 3 a little higher up, and then 2 up there at the top of the page. And since it's going at an angle up through there, I am going to go at an angle with the stitches. I'm using black because I have black in my title, and then there's also some black in those words. That's pumpkin and pie and all that. And I had black up there as the twine for the autumn banner. So it's going to be added several times in this layout. And that's it. I am done with my layout. You ought to check out the Secret Not Secret Kit Club because I love the parties that they have. There are so many challenges. Honest, like 25 to 30 before you get done. So if you got the time to do them, you have a whole lot of fun. And since you got the whole week afterwards, there's a lot of people that actually get all of them done. But I want to thank y'all so very much for watching. I will be leaving links below so you can find a lot more inspiration with everyone else that's doing their How to Kill a Kit with Style this month. And I will also leave a link to the Secret Not Secret, well, it's Redefine Creative Secret Not Secret Kit Club Facebook page. And if you want to leave a comment, you have any questions, anything, I'll be sure to answer them. If you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel. But thank you so very much for watching, and have a happy scrappy week. Bye.